Within just 1 week, fires broke out in a Kyoto hotel, a Tokyo subway, and even aboard a European flight. According to multiple media reports, investigators found a common link: portable batteries produced by several Chinese manufacturers. What once symbolized China's rapid rise in technology has become a growing global concern. Power banks and smartphones are now under scrutiny after a surge of fire-related incidents worldwide. For years, China has been the backbone of the world's electronic supply chain. From smartphones and laptops to e-bikes and power banks, most of today's portable batteries trace back to Chinese factories. In the early 2000s, this was celebrated as a milestone, proof that China had advanced from low-end production to high-tech manufacturing. By the 2020s, over 90% of the world's lithium batteries originated there. But as the industry expanded, experts say competition led some companies to prioritize speed and cost over safety. Reports suggest that a few small and mid-sized manufacturers reduced investments in quality control, allowing uncertified products to enter global markets. Lithium batteries are powerful but delicate. Even a small manufacturing defect can trigger a dangerous chemical reaction. Analysts believe that insufficient testing or cheap protective components may increase the risk of overheating and fires. By 2025, leading Chinese brands such as Xiaomi, Huawei, Anker, and Ramos had become global suppliers. Yet according to safety watchdogs, some devices sold abroad failed to meet international testing standards, despite carrying safety labels. The issue gained worldwide attention after a major fire broke out at Kyoto's Hachich Hotel in early October 2025. Japanese authorities reported that the incident likely started from a portable power bank that overheated while not in use. Nearly 2,000 guests were safely evacuated. Similar reports soon appeared across Japan. In Osaka, a commuter's bag caught fire after her power bank malfunctioned. In Tokyo, an apartment blaze was linked to an uncertified charger. Officials later discovered that several imported devices had bypassed Japan's mandatory safety certification. Local media warned of a growing influx of low-cost, gray-market electronics sold online. The same week, incidents were reported on international flights, including one involving smoke inside a Japan Airlines cabin, forcing the crew to take emergency action. As safety agencies tightened inspections, social media in China began to show troubling videos: power banks bursting in classrooms, offices, and homes. In one viral post, a student's uniform caught fire when a portable charger exploded in his pocket. He survived with minor burns, but the story spread rapidly online, sparking public concern. The situation escalated when Ramos, one of China's well-known battery brands, suddenly suspended operations amid reports of financial distress and quality issues. Soon, users began sharing footage of fires allegedly linked to its devices. In one case, a university student from Henan posted images of his family home destroyed in a power bank fire. His emotional message read, "We trusted the brand, but one spark took everything away." Now, governments and safety organizations worldwide are re-examining how such devices are tested, imported, and certified. The very batteries that once powered a generation of modern life have become a reminder that speed and innovation must never come at the cost of safety. Even the biggest tech names weren't spared. According to multiple reports, customers of Xiaomi, Huawei, and Oppo have filed complaints about phones and power banks suddenly catching fire. In one widely reported case, a Xiaomi smartphone exploded while a young child was watching videos, leaving him with minor burns. A month later, a Huawei user shared photos of a swollen, melted battery online. The post vanished hours later. That same day, a construction worker's Oppo phone burst into flames, and the video quickly went viral. What seemed like a series of isolated incidents has now become a global wake-up call. Airlines, hotels, and public transport operators are warning travelers not to use uncertified chargers or power banks. Insurance companies across Asia are tightening policies on lithium battery fires, some even refusing coverage for devices that fail safety verification. Meanwhile, Chinese regulators have offered little more than brief statements, calling these individual cases under investigation. But experts say the scale of the problem tells a different story. Over the past decade, China's battery industry has expanded at lightning speed, a growth fueled by intense price wars. Thousands of factories compete for international contracts, often cutting costs wherever possible. Cheaper lithium cells, untested materials, and low-grade circuits. Even major brands depend on complex subcontracting chains, making it nearly impossible to trace where a single battery component truly came from. Engineers pressured to meet production deadlines skip additional tests. Some certificates are copied, reused, or outright forged, while Japan, South Korea, and the EU require multiple stages of independent safety testing. Many factories in China rely on self-issued certifications, often based on outdated data. The result? One facility can produce batteries for 10 different brands under different names, hiding accountability when something goes wrong. The world's demand for low-cost electronics has only deepened this pattern. Retailers and e-commerce platforms push affordability, even if it means selling devices that have never been through proper safety checks. Experts warn this global race for cheap tech has quietly turned millions of homes, cars, and flights into potential fire hazards. China's domestic certification system, known as the CCC mark, was designed to reassure consumers. But according to investigative reports, the process can be easily influenced by local relationships. Once approved, post-market inspections are rare, and even after explosions, many cases are written off as isolated events to protect local economies. This has created what is a cycle of denial. Factories rebrand, reopen, and continue production under new names. In contrast, Japan's PSC and the EU's CE certifications demand regular audits and random inspections. That's why uncertified or counterfeit power banks have flooded foreign markets, slipping through online sales channels disguised as affordable alternatives. These devices, often lacking real protection layers, pose the highest risks, and yet they continue to sell by the millions. At the heart of the crisis lies something deeper than cost or technology. It's a culture built on speed. For decades, China's industrial success has been measured in volume, not safety. Each province wants to become the next battery capital, rewarding rapid output over careful craftsmanship. Factory workers describe long hours, minimal training, and poor safety equipment. Supervisors are judged by quantity, not quality. When something goes wrong, blame disappears into layers of bureaucracy. The result is a system that prioritizes production over protection, a machine that never slows down, even when it burns itself. Together, these forces, price pressure, weak oversight, and a culture of denial, have turned China's battery boom into what experts now call a global safety crisis. Every new explosion or fire is not an isolated failure, but a symptom of something larger, a warning about what happens when progress outpaces responsibility. From grounded planes in Tokyo to burned homes in Henan, the impact is spreading fast. Authorities in Japan and South Korea are now seizing uncertified chargers at airports, while airlines worldwide tighten onboard safety rules. For many travelers, one label once meant convenience, but today it's become a reminder that even the smallest device can ignite disaster. Across China, a quiet fear is spreading. Social platforms like Weibo and Douyin are flooded with videos of blackened desks, melted phones, and apartments reduced to ash. Each clip tells the same heartbreaking story. Another home lost, another family shattered. One video stood out. A university student from Henan stood in front of what used to be his family home. Behind him, burned walls and twisted beams were all that remained. The fire, he said, began with a small power bank he bought for just 129 yuan. His caption read simply, "It burned everything my parents built." The post gained hundreds of thousands of shares before disappearing overnight. Local fire departments in major cities like Beijing, Wuhan, and Chengdu have quietly reported a rise in home fires traced to electronic devices. Yet official coverage remains minimal, often calling them isolated incidents. For those who try to seek compensation, the process is almost impossible. Victims are asked for receipts, serial numbers, and usage logs few people keep. Even when refunds are issued, they rarely cover more than the price of the device, leaving families to bear the true cost alone. Meanwhile, public trust is eroding fast. Consumers once proud to support national brands are now looking abroad for alternatives. Under viral posts about product recalls, users write bitterly, "Why can't we make something safe?" "Because safety doesn't make profit," someone replies. That simple exchange captures the growing frustration of China's middle class, a generation caught between loyalty and disillusionment. Outside China, the reputation damage is spreading just as fast. Japan has issued new safety guidelines for lithium-powered devices. The European Union is drafting tougher import rules. Several U.S. airlines have begun flagging uncertified chargers linked to previous fire incidents. For years, China's manufacturing success was a symbol of national pride and progress. Now, each new explosion or recall chips away at that confidence. Parents warn their kids not to charge phones overnight. Hotels abroad quietly post signs urging guests not to use uncertified chargers. Even some travelers cover up brand logos out of embarrassment. These are not just product failures. They're cracks in a nation's self-image. The Made in China dream was supposed to represent innovation and self-reliance. But according to analysts and industry insiders, the race for scale and profit has come at a price. Safety standards that failed to keep up. From Tokyo to Wuhan, fires and recalls are now global warnings, signs of an industrial system stretched to its limits. Nearly 90% of the world's portable power devices will still come from China, powering billions of lives daily. But with that dominance comes a question no one wants to ask aloud. Has convenience made the world addicted to risk? Inside China, silence fills the gaps where answers should be. Posts vanish, reports fade. Companies issue brief apologies before deleting them. Officials insist the situation is under control, yet the fires keep coming. Experts say the real danger isn't just in batteries. It's in a mindset where speed outruns responsibility. Because in the end, every melted phone and burned home is not just a malfunction. It's a message, one that says the price of progress is catching fire.
Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. We will keep reporting on the COVID surge in China, so don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell to get the latest videos. And thank you for tuning in.